right, so I was kind of freaking out having to go after Mark because I know him from school, but after that welcome, I'm feeling a little bit better. So this has been amazing. So give it up for all the speakers because it's not easy getting up here. All right, I want to share a little bit about myself while I have a few seconds. My name is Paola Chamorro. I grew up and was raised in Bogota, Colombia. And a lot of people have a certain perspective of Colombia, and I want to change that a little bit and challenge you as well. I've lived half of my life here, half of my life there, pretty much. And I was asking my husband, who is very much American, what his perspective was on how people see Colombia. And he said that what he knows is the 4 things that we export: coffee, drugs, Shakira, and Sofia Vergara. But, you know, in more a serious note, in the 80s and 90s, Colombia was known for its darkness. There was a lot of violence, there was a lot of terrorism, and it had a lot of ramifications. So homelessness increased in the cities, and so did violence. I remember sitting in the back of the car when I was little, looking out into the streets at little kids my age, begging for food, begging for money, and I couldn't understand why they were in that situation and I wasn't. I saw kids sleeping under bridges, shielding themselves from the bitter cold rain, because Bogota is actually a cold city. So, you know, I just wondering why this was happening. And there was a lot of people that were asking themselves that same question, thankfully. Because Colombia is a country with 45 million people, and only about 1,000 of them were the ones that were ruining our reputation. So people like Pablo Escobar and the cartels were the ones that were making the perspective of the world of us horrible. So some people got together and decided to change this. And they based it on the power of creativity, community, and courage. And they put together a campaign that went viral, actually. And they asked themselves, who are we and what do we want to be known for as a country? So in answering these questions, we started highlighting things about Colombia that were good and that we had to offer the world. So one of them is that we're actually the second most biodiverse country in the world, which brings about these beautiful landscapes that are just gorgeous and breathtaking. We have soccer, of course, and so stars like El Pibe, or also known as Carlos Valderrama, who actually played for the Tampa Mutiny at one point in his life and was known for his outrageous, bleach afro. We have, you know, the stars like Shakira. We have coffee, of course. And then we've also been known recently as the happiest country in the world. So from that, why am I talking about Colombia? I'm passionate about it, but I think we can learn from it. It's a country that went from darkness and is transitioning into light. And so I want to ask you, who are you and what do you want to be known as or for? The truth of the matter is, we all have skeletons in our closets, right? We've made mistakes. We have a past. And if we want to overcome those mistakes, we want to rise out of the ashes, and we want to be who we always dreamed of being, we can use the same steps that Colombia used to change the perspective of the world on us. So number 1 was creativity. I don't care if you think you are artistic or not, we're all born with the power to be creative. All it takes is practice, and it's all about asking questions. It's about being open-minded. It's about rephrasing problems in a positive light. So whatever situation you're in right now, you have to know it's not permanent, and you have the power to change it. Number 2 was community. Life is so much better done in community, right? And whatever you've gone through in your life, whether it's crazy, heartbreaking problems and struggles, or whether it's just been really privileged in your life, use that to help people around you, empower them, help them pursue their dreams. So I encourage you to do this. And I think it's pretty evident after all these speakers and seeing all these people here that Tampa Bay has an amazing community. Wouldn't you agree? Good. So whatever side of the bridge you're on, I think it's time that we just come together and really make this community really thrive. And I think we're on a really good path right now. So make sure you're empowering people around you. And the third step that Colombia took is courage. And I think that it takes a lot of courage to live for something bigger than yourself. So don't be afraid to look at yourself in the mirror. Be bold, be honest, and allow yourself to be molded by the situations around you. And in the words, when it comes to writing your story, in the words of Robert McKee, I want to encourage you to write your story every day, line by line, page by page, hour by hour. Do so despite fear, because beyond imagination and skill, what the world asks of you is courage. Courage to risk ridicule, failure, and rejection. And so I just want to leave you by asking, who are you and what do you want to be known as for?